chilling tales for dark nights.
Good evening, everyone. Halloween is coming up, and that means it's the perfect time to listen to all the creepy fiction horror podcasts the web has to offer. With that said, I have something very special to share with you today. A first-hand look at Darkest Night. The binaural audio drama from our good friend and host of the No Sleep podcast, David Cummings. Among the nightmarish podcast offerings available this spooky season, the No Sleep podcast is one of the podfathers of them all, with 2 successful U.S. tours and over 100 million downloads. And October is an extra special month for them, in which they release their seminal Halloween episodes. Do yourself a favor and get caught up with their past Halloween episodes. They're such a treat, you won't regret it. David is not only the producer and host of the No Sleep podcast, he's also an executive producer on Darkest Night, a show that places you, the listener, at the center of a recovered memory that sounds as though it's happening around you in real time. When you listen to Darkest Night in headphones, it's like a 360-degree experience. Not only that, but the show features a full score and real string section by Alex Aldea and Andrew Jocelyn, who works with musicians like Odessa, Macklemore, and Mark Lanigan. Darkest Night Season 3 is narrated by the legendary Keith David, known for his work on The Thing, Requiem for a Dream, Armageddon, and so many more, as well as featuring acting appearances from RuPaul, Paul Scheer, Constance Zimmer, Dennis O'Hare, Missy Pyle, Michelle Visage, Jason Mewes, Jay from Jay and Silent Bob, David Cummings, Dan Harmon, and many more. Each chapter of Darkest Night delves into the last memory of the recently deceased, slowly revealing a horrifying master plan. Who is weaving this master conspiracy, and what is their ultimate goal? Well... You'll just have to listen in and find out. In a moment, I'll share with you the first episode of Darkest Night's 3rd season in its entirety. If you enjoy what you hear, subscribe to them on their podcast feed whenever you enjoy your favorite shows, and leave them a kind word and a 5-star review. And don't forget to let them know that the Simply Scary podcast sent you. Without further ado, I present to you Darkest Night.
And you promise we'll get to see Ernie, right? I'll get to meet him?
Yes, sweetie, you'll get to meet Ernie the elephant.
But you said that the last time we went to Safari Valley. And then Dad got that call and...
No calls today, buddy. I promise.
Look, the gates are opening!
Welcome to Safari Valley, where every day is an adventure.
Hurry, let's get in line.
Matt was only 7, but his adorable yet persuasive charm had twice gotten him into Safari Valley, a local theme park his parents hated. Matt knew it and felt guilty for dragging them there, but he needed to meet Ernie. The toothy-smiled elephant was his favorite character on Safari Friends.
Look, there he is! Come on!
The little family hurried toward the end of the promenade, where a line had started to form around the park's most popular mascot. By the time they reached the end of it, the line had grown all the way back to the park's entrance.
Did you know that elephants are the largest land animals in the world?
Baby, this line is really long.
At least 40 minutes.
Why don't we do some rides first and meet Ernie after lunch?
Mom, I want to meet Ernie now!
Did you know that an elephant's skin is over an inch thick?
Your mom's right, buddy. Rides first. Hey, how about the tilt-a-whirl?
But you said...
Emily bent down to Matt's level and addressed her son.
I I promise you, you will not leave this park until you've met Ernie the elephant. Do you believe me?
Yeah, I guess.
Did you know that elephants can live to be over 70 years old?
Matt, you're tall enough to do the cheetah chase this year.
I am?
The day passed quickly, and morning turned to midday, which turned to afternoon. Matt pointed out Ernie every time he saw him, but his parents were reluctant since the line never slowed down. Each Ernie that went unmet only frustrated Matt more.
Look, there's Rambo the rhino. You want to meet him?
No, Dad. Rambo's lame. I want to meet Ernie.
Did you know that a group of rhinos is called a crash?
It has to be Ernie, huh?
Let's just get in line for the next Ernie we see. He's not gonna be happy until he meets that damn elephant.
Don't say mean things about Ernie, Mom.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
Did you know that rhinos can run up to 40 miles an hour?
The tired family continued around the park, rewriting rides and searching out Ernie the elephant. Matt's parents were weary, sunburned, and looking for an out.
I don't see Ernie anywhere, sweetie. How about Jenny the giraffe?
Did you know giraffes sleep standing up?
No, I don't want to meet Jenny or Gordy or Winnie or Rambo. I want to meet Ernie. Please, Mom, you promised.
I did.
Em, it's 30 minutes to close. Look, I know you promised, but you can't work miracles, and I haven't seen an Ernie in over an hour.
What do you mean, an Ernie? There's just one Ernie, Dad.
You're right. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm just tired.
We promised him he'd see Ernie, Don. That's the only reason he cared about coming here. I'll ask one of the park staff.
Why don't we just slowly make our way towards the entrance and get in line when we see him?
But what if we don't see him? Would we just leave before I met him? Please, Dad.
We can't leave like this.
It's been a long fucking day.
Don't swear in front of Maddie.
Oh yeah, like you're a bastion of purity around the kid.
Okay, don't you dare start with me.
Matt blinked the tears from his eyes and turned away. It wasn't the first time his parents had fought in public, and he was embarrassed. All he'd asked for was to meet Ernie the elephant. And now, it looked like that would never be. Matt whipped his head up. Was that? Yes, that was a trumpeting elephant. Ernie was nearby. Matt jumped up and down, trying to see over the heads of the crowd. Where did it come from? Where was Ernie? If only he could get close enough. There, in between the buildings of the Midway Games, Matt could see Ernie walking. His green lounge coat was flapping behind him, and his tail was twitching. Ernie was getting farther away. Matt looked back at his parents. They grew louder and more animated in their argument.
We gotta figure this out or he's gonna throw another tantrum.
We can't change time.
Did you know elephants never forget? They remember every insult and rejection.
Matt took one last look at his parents, then bolted through the crowd after Ernie. He wouldn't miss him this time. He wouldn't. As Matt grew closer to the strip of Midway Games, he caught sight of Ernie between the buildings. Tripping over a tired father of two, Matt bolted through the alleyway, leaving the arcade and guests behind him.
Ernie? Ernie!
The park's PA system chimed in above.
Did you know elephants are born blind? Play a fun game with Ernie by finding him before he finds you.
Ernie?
Matt emerged from the alley to the quieter area behind the buildings. He looked left and right, searching for Ernie, among the generators and long cords stripping the pavement in front of him.
Ernie!
He watched as one of the long shadows began to move. It was Ernie. He was walking away from Matt.
Wait! Wait for me!
Matt ran to catch up with Ernie, dodging cords and littered soda cans.
Did you know elephants can run at speeds of up to 40 miles an hour? Better keep up.
Ow!
Matt thought about crying over his fall, but there was no one around to hear him, except for Ernie. And Ernie was almost to a small brown building nearby already. The elephant was headed for the door.
No! Wait!
Ernie opened the door and disappeared inside. Matt stopped in front of it, contemplating. He knew he shouldn't follow Ernie, though that didn't stop him.
Did you know elephants make friends for life? Once you befriend an elephant, you'll have a pal forever.
Matt looked down a set of service steps, lit by orange utilitarian wall sconces.
Hey, are you down there?
Matt descended the stairs quickly, hoping to catch Ernie. At the bottom, he saw a long, wide hallway that split off in two directions at the end. The underground area was filled with long, singing pipes and copper engines powering the park's rides above his head.
Ernie, where are you?
Ernie's trumpet came from the end of the hallway, though from which direction was impossible to tell. Matt ran as fast as he could, stopping at the fork, calling down both.
Ernie, can I just have a hug?
He studied the corridor the sound came from. It was darker than the other one, but the hum of machinery was louder.
Did you know elephants give the best hugs? Ernie has more than 40,000 muscles in his trunk to squeeze you with.
I'm coming, Ernie!
Matt ran after Ernie. Every time he came to a fork in the passageway, he would call to his favorite friend, and Ernie would answer. Matt followed until he was hopelessly lost. But that was okay. Ernie would show him the way out. He came to yet another intersection, and before he could even call, Ernie bellowed nearby. Matt spun toward the sound and turned the corner, only to find a dead end. The humming lights on the wall popped and sizzled. One went out, then two, until only 3 bulbs were left to light the now darkened hallway.
Ernie?
At his name, the elephant stepped out of the shadows. He stood underneath one of the remaining bulbs and froze.
I just wanted an autograph. My mom has my book. Can I... Oh, do you want a piece of candy? I have some Skittles in my pocket we could share.
Ernie opened his mouth until his jaw gaped open, and Matt saw into the black nothingness behind his small, square teeth. There was nothing behind them, but a dense, consuming void.
Did you know elephants have large appetites and can consume up to 600 pounds of food?
Matt stepped forward and stood on his tippy toes and poured half the bag of Skittles down Ernie's throat, careful not to reach past his teeth.
How much do you weigh?
Matt stumbled back and looked up at the ceiling, searching for the speaker. He was starting to feel scared.
Are you talking to me?
Ernie hadn't moved. He stood still against the wall with his mouth open. Matt was afraid. This Ernie was different, not like his friend on TV. He suddenly wanted very much to find his mom and dad.
Okay. Bye.
Matt turned away, leaving Ernie standing there motionless, still gaping. As he turned the corner, Matt heard the pop of the bulb going out above Ernie. The sudden darkness pushed him forward like a wave in the ocean. Matt didn't remember his way to the stairs, but he ran anyway. Occasionally, he heard the pop and fizzle of the bulbs going out behind him. But still he ran, the labyrinth of corridors becoming more intricate and confusing as he went. He turned a corner and stopped short. Ernie stood against the wall at the very end of the hallway. He was facing Matt. A light bulb popped behind him.
Go away, Ernie. I want to go home.
Matt backed up and ran back down the dark corridor. There was little light, and long shadows moved alongside the chugging machinery.
Did you know elephants have excellent hearing? They can hear the quietest footstep from up to 3 miles away.
Go away!
Matt could hear Ernie's footsteps behind him. His heart was pounding. He was afraid to turn around to see, but he just couldn't help himself from looking back. Matt could see him in between the shadows. Ernie was following behind him with large, confident, unhurried, yet thunderous strides.
Leave me alone!
Did you know elephants kill over 500 people per year? That's more than sharks and spiders combined.
Stop talking to me!
I'm not talking to you. I am just a recording.
Matt ran, Ernie followed. It grew so dark, Matt could not tell the moving parts from the limbs of the elephant.
Stop following me!
Matt was frozen in fear. He felt around in the dark hallway, scooting up against the wall, squeezing himself in between two concrete pillars. The corridor was pitch black, and he knew he was well hidden. Soon, Ernie would walk right by, missing him. He would stay right here. His parents would surely find him, or an employee would come by soon. The park should be closed by now, and they were probably already looking for him.
Did you know that while elephants are colorblind, they can see in the dark? Did you know Ernie is right in front of you? He's there in the dark. He's waiting.
Matt buried his head in his hoodie. No. It was lying. The voice was lying.
Just reach out your arm, and you can touch him.
Don't talk to me! Go away!
Suddenly, a hand grabbed Matt's ankle, and he was hauled out of his hiding place.
Let me go! Let me go!
Matt's body was jerked around a corner and into a room filled with dim light. A single wall sconce covered them in an orange hue. Ernie whipped Matt around until he could stare into the vacant glass eyes of the elephant costume.
I'll tell my mom!
Ernie let go, and Matt scrambled to his feet. The elephant stood silent and still, blocking the door, the only exit from the room.
Go away! Get out!
Ernie continued to stand, still as a statue, unflinching.
I know what you are. You're just a guy in a suit. You're trying to scare me. I hate you!
Nothing Matt said moved the elephant. Ernie continued to stand, arms at his side, head staring straight forward.
I hate you, I hate you, I hate you!
Anger overriding his fear, Matt ran up and knocked the head off the Ernie costume. There was nothing there. Where the wearer's head should be was only empty space. Matt stumbled back and fell against the wall. He couldn't take his eyes off it. Ernie hadn't moved. Only now, he didn't have a head.
What are you?
Did you know elephants are very intelligent and sometimes kill for pleasure?
Suddenly, the headless Ernie costume fell into a pile of empty cloth on the threshold. Whatever had been wearing it was gone. Matt choked back his tears and launched himself out of the room. He ran in the darkness, arms out in front of him. Matt must have turned a corner because a soft light started to tickle to the periphery of his vision. He turned toward it. Yes, there it was, at the end of the silent hallway, muted light spilling down from the ceiling. A staircase. He ran toward it.
Did you know it isn't going to let you go? You'll never come up the stairs. You'll be underneath this park forever.
Leave me alone! You're lying! You're a liar!
Matt was halfway to the bottom of the staircase. His lungs hurt, and his ankle throbbed where the thing had grabbed him. It was utterly silent, except the sound of his sneakers slapping the linoleum. A few more steps, and he was almost there. Matt was plunged into sudden darkness, yet again.
Let me go! I won't tell anybody. Please. Please.
He felt his way forward blindly. Matt thought the only way to reach the stairs was just to keep going.
Matthew! Matthew!
At the sound of his mother's voice, Matt stopped. It was coming from his left, from somewhere very far away.
Where are you, sweetheart?
Mom?
Matthew!
Matt turned and ran toward his mother, arms in front of him. Matt knew that if his mother was there, everything was going to be okay.
Matthew! Where are you? We can't find you!
Mommy! Daddy! I'm coming!
Matt ran and ran as he followed his parents' voices down the hallways. As he began to see the light of the exit, he noticed something in the distance. Something not quite so dark.
Matthew, how did you get down here?
Don't worry about it, Mom! I'm coming!
Underneath the last light bulb in the hallway, a shadowed figure stood underneath it.
Mom! I see you!
The closer Matt got, the safer he felt. It was his mother. He recognized the blue jacket and red hair. She opened her arms to receive him, and Matt flew into them. He was finally safe.
I was so scared. There's something down here with us.
He felt a hand on his shoulder.
We were scared too, kiddo. You're gonna be okay now. We need to get back upstairs. We're not supposed to be down here.
Dad? It's coming.
Is that Ernie?
Oh, look, there's an Ernie. Oh, maybe he'll talk to us.
Matt turned around to see what his father was pointing at. It was Ernie, of course, but there was something different about the costume this time. The face. The mouth. It was smiling.
No! We have to go!
Ernie pulled out an elephant tusk from his costume.
Holy shit! Dylan, get Matt out of here!
And stabbed Emily in the throat.
Oh my God! Emily! Emily! Run, Maddie. I won't let him touch you.
Dad!
Matthew, no matter what happens, I will always love you.
Oh, Dad, no!
Ernie! Whatever you are, stay away from my son!
Dad!
Ernie stopped in its tracks. He dropped the bloody tusk and slowly sauntered up to Dylan. After a moment of pause, it smiled.
Stay quiet. If we don't move, maybe he'll leave.
Ernie opened his mouth and decapitated Dylan with one clean swoop.
Oh my God!
As he watched his father's detached head fall to the floor, Matt stood there in shock. Ernie slowly approached him, and Matt turned to run. As he tried to escape, he tripped over his mother's lifeless corpse.
Ow!
Never leave your enemy or their kin alive.
Ernie lifted his right foot and stomped down on Matthew's helpless body.
Thank you for visiting Safari Valley. Have a great day.
Thank you for joining us tonight. You've been listening to Darkest Night, the binaural audio drama from executive producer David Cummings. Darkest Night is available on iTunes as well as wherever podcasts are found. If you enjoyed what you heard and can't wait for more, you can check out Season 3, Episode 2, available right now on the Darkest Night feed. You can also check out ad-free, lossless, and quality episodes of Darkest Night 1 week in advance on Shudder.com, including Season 3, Episode 3. Shudder is the world's top horror subscription video-on-demand service, and has many of your favorite horror titles, including the original Halloween, Revenge, Channel Zero, and many, many more. You can get a free month of Shudder by using the offer code TOLD, that's TOLD, T-O-L-D, to let them know that the Simply Scary podcast sent you. If you haven't already, check out and subscribe to Darkest Night and the No Sleep podcast, and be sure to leave them a review and a kind word, and tell them you heard about them on this show. And don't forget, if you'd like to check out advanced episodes of Darkest Night 1 week early and ad-free, visit shudder.com and use the code TOLD to get a month of access 100% free.
Julie. Tales for Dark Nights.